October 2011, an Arcadia High School student was on an overnight field trip with his father and his classmates. He was then segregated at night into his own cabin with his father, only to find out it was because he was born a female. I'm here to explain my thesis, which is transgender students should have the rights to choose their own restroom of their choice. So going back to the history of transgenderism, we have the Greek Aphrodite, who was later called Hermaphroditus. Her figure was a female figure with male genitalia. Going through to 1865, this is Mary Edwards Walker, who was the first Civil War surgeon who disguised herself as a man to serve in the war. 1953, this is the first publicly known male to female transgender. This is Christine Jorgensen, who became the first widely known transgender to undergo reassignment surgery. She is known as the GI the ex-GI becomes blonde beauty. This is, in 1965, Dr. John Paulin wrote his book called Sexual Hygiene and Pathology. In his book, he coined the phrase transgenderism. Then in 1969, American transgender activist Virginia Prince Charles started to use the phrase transgender for her own use in her own magazine, which she had, which was Transvestia. In 1979, Christine Jorgensen finally decided to denounce the phrase transsexual and decided to call herself transgender. It was because she stated that the gender does not have to do with bed partners, it has to do with your gender identity. Then again in 2011, you have the high school student from Arcadia High School who was segregated from being in the cabin of the other male students. There was a resolution in 2013 of July, and the U.S. Department of Education and the U.S. Department of Justice were the ones who decided that the school district had to change their rules. So going over the 3 points: promote social acceptance. Transgender students are trying to blend in and are not trying to call attention to themselves. This is by the spokesperson for the author AB 1216, Carlos Alcala. He explains that this law goes to stop bullying. This is Ashley Lee. She is a female transgender to a male, and she was one. Her story is she was known she was placed in an all-female physical education class when she was known as a male. The second point would be help lower teen risk in bullying and suicide. The LA Unified School District did a survey surveying that 153 students, 153,000 students, and 763 of them were self-identified as transgender. The survey also found that 44% of these students were experiencing discrimination, harassment, or some type of assault. The last point would be breakthrough for gay and lesbian rights. This is, you have Shannon Minter of the NCLR and Ilana Turner of Transgender Law. They both believe that this is going to, it's going to send a message to the community that they are valued, and we want to see them succeed and participate. So now we know the story of Ashton Lee, who was 16. This is Eli Ehrlich, who was born a male transgender to a female. He understands the trials and tribulations of being in high school as a transgender and was a part of the law and pushing to have signatures signed for Governor Jerry Brown. So the opposing views, this is Karen England, Executive Director of Capital Resource Institute. She believes that if it's a very radical idea for California. That we're going to have first grade boys in the restrooms, first grade girls, without any supervision. The rebuttal is Carlos Alcala, again, who states that the children are not interested in going to the bathrooms and flaunting through physiology. So then you have another opponent, which was Jim Nielsen, a Republican senator at Fresno. He claims that this is going to be a tool used for young sex offenders. His statement is parents, school administrators, and school board members would have no say over students who identify themselves as transgender and enter the showers or bathrooms of their opposite sex. The rebuttal of that was Senator Democrat from Bell Gardens, Richard Lara, who says, let's not confuse silly behavior with serious issues. sensitive gender identity issues. To date, and he's explaining how the Los Angeles Unified School District has not had any problems, saying that there hasn't been one single problem in incidents for the past decade. So in conclusion, we're saying that transgender students now have the choice to use the restrooms of their choice in 2014. This will give social acceptance to key childhood development. It will lower the risk of bullying and suicides, and also it is breakthrough for gay and lesbian rights. Thank you.